Hello scholars, welcome to the Kemet Maasai Academy. This is the first in a series of videos that I'll be doing based on the Student's Master Plan. So this is one of my books, the Student's Master Plan, and this is a book that it was compiled based on the fact that I used to write passages to motivate my students. So if you notice on the board behind me, it says student motivation. That's what this book is all about. That's how this book was put together. What I used to do, I used to notice that my students would have issues that I would need to talk to them about. Now, I have been teaching for over 25 years. Started as a homeschooler, so I homeschooled my 4 biological children, but I also was tutoring students from outside, other people's children, and eventually expanded to the point where now I operate a full day school, right? So it's a private school, small school, on the principles of what I honed, homeschooling my own children and the successes that I achieved through that. So I want to offer that to other people, to other parents and their children. So I found that there would be issues coming up that I would be talking to my students about. And I said, you know what? Each morning, or rather each night, I am going to write a passage about a particular thing that affects my students, whether it's their punctuality or how they care for their things or how they treat other students, their attitude towards their work. I am going to single out a topic every night and I'm going to write about it. And in the morning, I'm going to read it to my students and we're going to talk about it. Because I felt that if we talked about these things over and over, it would shed some light on the issue for them, as well as they would eventually improve, right? And the more we talked about it, the more they would improve. So I would read the passage and then I would open it up for discussion and the students would tell me how they felt about that thing. And of course, students, children you might start talking about a topic and you find that it just expands into a discussion on several other issues. And so I found that the children were looking forward to it because they were getting a chance to express themselves, to express their feelings, how they think, and to ask questions and to clear up, to seek clarification on matters, and gave me the opportunity to clear up these things and to motivate them and get them in the right frame of mind to start the school day. So I started doing that. Every night I would pick a topic and I would write about it, maybe a page or 2 pages. In the mornings, when we were having our little devotion time in the mornings, I would read it to them and we would have a discussion. Now I compiled those passages in 2014. I compiled them into this book, the Student's Master Plan. So on the cover, that's my oldest daughter and oldest son, that's Shakama and Kuti. And this book has been so helpful to the students over the years. Every morning now, still, since that time coming up, still do it. Every morning I read a passage to my students and we still discuss the passages and open up the floor, and once we get talking, they will also ask about other things or tell me what else is on their mind, right? So we still do that. That's a tradition that we have at our school, and that's where it started, right? So I am hoping that students now can watch these videos. So each video will be featuring one passage, right? So just like how I would come in the mornings with my students, and when we're having our motivation session, I would read that passage and we talk. I'm hoping that students and teachers can use these videos in the same way. Each video will be on a particular passage, so you just watch the video on that passage and discuss it in the class. That's what I'm hoping to achieve in doing this series of videos based on this book. Just like what I do for my students, I'm hoping other teachers can do for their students, to motivate them and to have them start out the day right. So what I'll be reading this morning is the preface of the book, The Student's Master Plan. And the preface goes as follows. We are all students of life, and we will all be students for life, whether we like it or not. Many boast about having graduated from the school of hard knocks, meaning that their frequent brushes with death have earned them street smarts, honorary degrees in self-preservation. Some people literally are students for the greater chunk of their lives, formally enrolled in one institution or the other in pursuit of the elusive education, constantly widening their knowledge base. Some people were truants from day one, and even now, in the prime of life, are still trying to skip classes, dodge teachers, and bully others. Then, very late in life, they try to take a crash course and cram just before the final exam, death. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Information is fleeting and constantly evolving. Education is a dynamic process, a lifelong task to which you have to commit yourself or run the risk of becoming, like the very facts you have so far acquired, defunct. He who knows that he knows not, he is a wise man, seek him. So I'm quoting from a verse. He who knows that he knows not, he is a wise man, seek him. The Student's Master Plan is a framework of attitudes, a blueprint of guidelines that will help you on your way to achieving success as a student, at school, and at life. It is a template into which you may type your goals, adjusting the font style and size of character, but always staying within those tried and tested margins. I wrote the essays as a form of motivation for my students. Each day, we began classes with a 15-minute motivational session where I read to them an essay that I had written the night before, with issues relevant to their life as students, and then we would discuss the issues. If I found that we were having a problem with students coming late, I wrote an essay about punctuality. I read it to them and we discussed it. If I found that there was an overall moral problem brewing, for example, after flunking a test, I wrote an essay about that. Sometimes I read and reread particular essays that were pertinent to their situation, moods, and needs. Some were recurrent and ever relevant. The essays accumulated, and I found that they were very effective in inspiring my students and opening their eyes to new possibilities. The overwhelming response was positive, and it encouraged me to write even more. Our 15-minute motivational sessions will continue to be the launching pad for our daily interactions. The students look forward to airing not only their grouses and misunderstandings about the world, but to being inspired and urged on by positive, sincere words from a teacher who they know cares. I recommend this approach to all teachers. I envision the student's master plan in the hands of every student, teacher, and parent. It is a handy source of motivation, which is necessary to keep students focused, enthusiastic, and above all, positive. So that is the preface of the student's master plan. And I should tell you, this motivational session is just a part of the larger motivational session that I have with my students. Every morning, we have a 1 hour motivational session. In that 1 hour, I've divided it into 3 20-minute segments. So the first 20 minutes is when I read from the student's master plan. I just keep going through the book. So each day I go to the next passage. So I would read the passage and open the floor for discussion. And like I said, the discussion usually goes beyond that because students will always have things that are concerning to them, things they hear on the news, things they hear their parents talk about, things that's going on that they are scared about. And they will express that. So for the 20 minutes, that's what we do. And then for the next 20 minutes, I will play some strong, positive, motivational songs. Now, these songs have been carefully selected by myself. To date, we have almost 300 songs in that playlist. And I have selected them across all musical genres, whether it is country and western, soul, 70s classics, even religious song, because I typically don't introduce religion to my students. We don't discuss religion, but there are even certain religious songs that I find motivational. Nationalistic songs about, I'm from Jamaica, and there are certain songs that, stir up national pride, patriotism. So I throw in a lot of different songs into the mix. Even dancehall songs get in there. My idea is don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I am able to pick the quality things from everywhere. So whether it's dancehall, rap, any kind of genre, I go and I find, once it has a positive message, I will include it in the list. So we have almost 300 songs, and each morning I will play 4 or maybe 5 songs. So that generally takes the 20 minutes because each song is roughly from 3 to 5 minutes. You have some songs even go over 10 minutes. So depending on how long each song is, or even poems, I've added some poems, right? Depending on how long each one is, then I might be able to just play 3 for that morning. Most mornings though, 4, or if they're very short that morning, then maybe 5. So after that 20-minute session, we go into what we call the meditation session, where I just ask my students to just close their eyes, shut out the world, and just reflect, just be in their own heads for that 20-minute space, and just whether they want to think about what happened yesterday and what changes they would like to make, how they would want to improve on that, or just focus on today and what would they like today to be, just to get themselves in that frame of mind, because as I always tell them, you don't know what the day will bring. You can be at school today and a teacher gets a call to say something has happened to one of your relatives. You can be at school today and an earthquake comes. You can be at school and any accident happens in the class. You just really have to be prepared to handle anything. And so I try to encourage them to just have that little session in the mornings, and this is something I'm hoping they will take with them through life. 15-20 minutes every morning, just put that aside to clear your mind. Don't care what the person beside you is doing. Close your eyes, shut them out, just be in your own head for that 20 minutes. You don't need to see anyone, you don't need to hear anyone, you don't need to tell anybody anything, you don't need to be fidgeting with the bag, the pencil, the book, you don't need any of those, just you inside your head. Right, so these are the kinds of habits I try to develop in my students, and I've seen where it works. It certainly works in my personal life, and so I am putting this out there so that it can inspire others, particularly teachers who hope to be facilitators to their students and to motivate, keep their students on that high, that natural high. Because when you are motivated, you achieve. And if you are able to stay motivated at least most of the time, there's no telling what you can achieve. So I like when my students are pumped up, and they are confident in themselves. They know they can do it because every single day, teachers telling me I can do it. Teachers playing songs that are saying I can do it. Teachers reading to me passages that is saying I can do it. So after a while, it's no longer a question. There is no question. You know you can do it, right? So that's what I want for students, and so that's the reason I'm doing these videos. So this is the very first one, the introductory video to the Students Master Plan, and each video after this I will be looking at a different topic. And let me know in the comments each time how you feel about that particular topic. So signing out, thanks for joining me at the Kemet Maasai Academy. Remember, we also have dozens and dozens and dozens of mathematics videos from grade 4 to CSEC mathematics, grade 11. So from grade 4 to grade 11 mathematics, videos on every topic. Just go through the catalogs, go through the playlists for each grade, and find the one that you're looking for. Put up your tent, and just stay over here for a while and watch all the videos. Sharpen your mathematics skills in addition to the motivation, right? So there are motivational videos as well as mathematics videos. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so, and please share this video so other students and teachers and parents can be motivated. So thank you for joining me again, and I'll see you in the other videos.